So you know how we watch like PragerU videos, right? Unfortunately, it's like my entire hobby is built around debunking videos that in the vein of PragerU, and sadly that means we even have to stumble across that fake university run by and paid for by oil billionaires and oil and private school CEOs and other conservative groups who are hell bent on turning this world into a dark ages hellscape to which the no light can escape and enshroud the entire world in anarcho shitty buttholeinism. Okay, but it appears that PragerU is no longer relegated to our to this stream or people's computer screens at their home. It is creeping in to classrooms. Some teachers are using it. PragerU is pushing for their videos to be used in actual teaching as like an actual genuine source. And we can read a little bit about it because it is genuinely frightening. An Ohio public school has been giving students extra credit for watching videos from PragerU. Extra credit. So they're tacking on. So the kids, kids like me who didn't turn in their homework for like 3 weeks straight and need a couple extra points to get from to get at least a D to pass. They're like, hey, listen, just watch a couple of PragerU videos and you'll be all good. You'll pass by me. A right-wing website that promotes clips of talking heads such as Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, and conservative viewpoints, Huffington Post learned. The PragerU videos, which are titled such as Build the Wall, Why the Right is Right, and The Left Ruins Everything, were assigned to 10th grade history class at Maumee? What is this word? Maumee. That is wait, where is this? It's Ohio. This is definitely a Native American word. Maumee High School, along with a series of questions about the video's most important messages. The assignment came from the assignment came at the same time that the website has tried to gain further influence in K through 12 classrooms. If you didn't know, this means kindergarten, so 3-year-olds to 18-year-olds. Earlier this month, the organization launched a program directly aimed at parents and educators, complete with study guides such as sections as Conservatives Are the Real Environmentalists and The Ferguson Lie, based on the Huffington Post review of materials. So these videos, I remember this video. We went over this video. This is a video where they claim that solar panels and wind farms are the most dangerous piece of energy equipment to wildlife that humans have ever created. While in the meantime, think of the Burbs. Yeah, they're like, our beautiful symbol of freedom and peace. The bald eagle is being chopped up into stew meat for the radical left. Nancy Pelosi eats killed bald eagle birds that have been eviscerated by the evil torment that destroys the wildlife of bald eagles throughout this country. We must never succumb to the radical left. Like, it is like that video is wild. In the meantime, 1 billion birds die from pollution. And another, I think 900,000 die from hitting windows. And he said, and like, I think in total, like 200,000 birds die from like solar farms and wind farms. So on the scale of things that are problems to the wildlife, things like the wall, which absolutely has been condemned by environmentalists as completely destroying a bunch of wild animals' migration patterns, and them being unironically funded by people like ExxonMobil to push their anti renewable energy talking points, and also them explicitly being against the civil rights movement in the country. This has no place in a classroom. Audrey Cutway, the mother of a 16-year-old student at Avery Lewis, brought the assignment to the attention of Maumee's city school administrators and immediately pulled her daughter from the class. Maumee is about 10 miles south of Toledo. Administrators first first tried that they deemed my bad administrators first tried what they deemed to be a compromise by allowing the student to include videos that reflected views from the other side of political spectrum. Cutway said this was her daughter's suggestion, not the school's. Cutway noted other students were still instructed to complete the work using the original videos. I think at the end of this, the teacher was actually what was it? The teacher was actually stopped from showing the videos, but this is wild. What's up? These are the vibes. Nice to see you, bud. The best way left ruins everything. That one might be true. Best way to give yourself depression. Listen, if you want to give yourself depression, just automatic depression. You know those girls back in like elementary school who could burp on command. If you want to be like that, just give yourself instant crippling depression. Just scroll through any like tanky liked tweets on the Bird app, and instant depression. What's good, my brother? Not much. We're just talking about how PragerU is literally trying to indoctrinate children. We'll read one more from this, and then we'll talk about it. PragerU started a prep program in response to COVID-19 related school shutdowns, which forced us to take a closer look at what is being taught and not taught across the country, said Andranine Johnson, PragerU chief staff and led the prep program platform. In a video interview with conservative news channel One America News Network. This is a propaganda network. One America News? OAN? Really? America is not being fairly portrayed. Many schools are implementing anti-racist Black Lives Matter curriculum, and America is not being treated fairly. And their chief piece of evidence is that anti-racist Black Lives Matter curriculum is being taught, like the 1619 Project. These people are unhinged. Listen, PragerU isn't getting into schools to try to get more money or something necessarily along those lines. They have a political goal of indoctrinating people into their line of thinking, which is absolutely depraved. PragerU is doing what basically any other fascist organization would be doing, teaching the children what they can as fast as possible before anybody else catches up and figures out what they're doing. This is dangerous. This is extremely dangerous to allow this to happen. And just imagine, like, they're listening to things from people like Ben Shapiro. Ben, Jews love to build and Arabs like to live in open sewage and bomb shit. Ben, it doesn't matter how many Yemeni children we kill because one American life is worth 100 Yemeni children's lives. People like Candace Owens, who doesn't care if Hitler just wanted to be nationalist. The real problem of Hitler was trying to go beyond the borders of Germany. Like, these people are depraved. They are wild. The things that are going on right now, the things that these people are spewing and are given a platform through PragerU. But it's not surprising. I would expect them to be trying to do this, and they're going to try to justify it. And be wary, because a lot of like liberals, like capital L liberals, like centristy liberals, and a lot of conservatives are going to be like, well, as you see, the radical left get their things. I mean, come on. We have anti-racism, and we have pro-LGBTQ stuff. The radical left get that. Why can't the right get something like climate change denialism? And like the free market is basically the best thing in the world and will never ever hurt anybody ever at any point in time. And when the government does stuff, that's socialism. Why can't we have that? These two things are not on the same level. All right. There's a reason why people like Richard Spencer love to compare themselves to the left, because if they compare themselves to the left, that means they get brought up to the left's level. The left gets to be able to, express their views in a way that isn't counter to the way people think, at least socially, right? When it comes to the right, though, their views are so depraved, are so universally disliked by people who aren't primed already to believe it, that they need to be able to compare themselves. They need to Trojan horse their way into things to be able to be treated with any sort of seriousness and validity. And if you can't do that, you have to make your own space. So that's what they're doing now. They're trying to bore out a little hole where they can plant the seed of anti-intellectualism and then move on to reap the benefits of the plant when it sprouts, of people who've spent their entire K through 12 experience being indoctrinated by literal alt-right talking points coming from people like Charlie Kirk, coming from people like Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and whatever the like they want to do. This has no place in the classroom. It has absolutely no place to be in the classroom. It just doesn't. It's not even, this isn't even about like left versus right or what's good and what's bad. Just on a very like basic sort of fact driven idea of what should be taught to kids in school. This shouldn't be in a classroom. I shouldn't be in a classroom. Like one of my videos, I don't think that a teacher should necessarily be linking to my YouTube channel for good material to watch for school. Like it's not that I think that I'm lying. It's just because the way I present information, it is biased, and that doesn't mean I'm lying to you. That means I am very obviously politically motivated. I can get mad at like centristy or non-political sort of like reporters or anything, but their existence makes my existence possible for these sorts of people to exist. We need at least the least biased news that we can get to be able to form our cogent political ideas without having to like backtrace everything to its primary sources at all points in time. We need like at least a sort of neutral ground, right? And to teach kids how through PragerU videos is just ridiculous. I mean, just ask yourself, why is a PragerU video being shown in the classroom if a PragerU video... See you later, bud. Nice. Thanks for sticking around. If a PragerU video was any good at being had any place to be in a classroom, why don't they have any sources? Why don't they source any of their material? Why don't they even at least put any Why don't they at least like talk about the sort of studies that they're talking that they link to, or the numbers that they bring up? None of it. None of the numbers that they bring up are sourced at all. At all. None of the scripts. It's just ad-libbing from dipshits who are paid by billionaires who make money from keeping the status quo and making it worse. This has no place in the classroom besides to be critically dismantled. That's the only place it has in the classroom. Just like Mein Kampf. You don't just give kids a book of the Mein Kampf. You don't do that. You don't just like, hey kids, so today for today's reading, make sure to get through chapter 1 through 5 of Mein Kampf by the end of the week, and then we'll have a Socratic circle about it. No, you don't do that. You don't just do that. You know, it has to be supplemented with some other like teaching to round it out, and that wasn't happening here. They were literally just like, here's some PragerU videos. Tell me the most important things that you learned from it. This is literally just indoctrination. That's it. And the fact that it was used for special credit, like extra credit, makes it even more sinister, because the kids who really need it are the ones who are going to be subjected to what PragerU has to put out. This is ridiculous, and they have to be stopped. This is why we need things like the Gravel Institute out there. We need to be able to stop them, or else they're going to do everything that they can to try to steal as much as they can. The billionaires are using all the money that they can, all the capital that they can, to now move into schools to indoctrinate children.